Should you forbear on your mortgage payments? Well, I know a lot of homeowners who are asking that same question right now. And let's face it, these are tough times. 26 million people have filed for unemployment. And so the government is saying to the banks, hey, we need to help these people. So what do they come up with? The CARES Act, or also known as the Forbearance. Now, I know many of you watching this may not have a choice. You might be one of those 26 million people who've lost their jobs. Or you might already be behind on payments. And so you're thinking, nah, I literally don't have a choice. I don't even need to watch this. But yes, you need to keep watching this to know exactly what you're getting yourself into. And for those of you who are thinking, nah, I'm going to do the forbearance so I can have more cash in my pocket, invest in that Beamer that I was looking, or maybe that new property, well, you definitely need to keep watching because you might just be making the biggest mistake of your life. So stay tuned. And don't forget, subscribe, like, and the little bell. My name is Jessica, your New Jersey real estate agent with over a decade of experience in the business, and in this video, I will be going over the disadvantages and the advantages to forbearing on your mortgage. Don't forget to click subscribe, like, and that bell so you can get notified every time I make a video. Now, before I go into the advantages and the disadvantages, I want to make some important points here. This is a very new program. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are sending these scripts, these guides to these lenders so they know exactly how to explain it to you. But there's a game of telephone there, right? You're getting secondhand information. And again, a lot of these lenders or the servicers who work for the lenders might not be as informed as you think they are on this, especially because they're new programs. So there's a lot of conflicting information going back and forth. Some lenders are saying one thing to some borrowers and something else to other borrowers. So what are some of this conflicting information that these lenders are giving out? Well, the number one thing that we're not really certain about is how the payments will be due after the grace period. So when you speak with your mortgage lender, they're going to tell you that you have three options, which is 1, reinstatement, 2, repayment plan, or 3, loan modification plan. And I'm reading this directly from an email that I got from my mortgage lender, which is why I keep looking down. So bear with me. So reinstatement would mean that you would have to pay a balloon payment or a lump sum at the end of that grace period, which means you'd have to pay it all in one shot, which is crazy because who has that kind of money, especially if you're filing for forbearance. The second option would be repayment plan, which is creating a repayment plan with the lender that works for you. But this wouldn't be done until later, so we don't even know what that plan looks like. And then the third one, which is the best option, but you're not guaranteed to get this, it's called the loan modification plan. Now, that plan is basically going to bake into your mortgage the amount and extend the number of years. So if you have a 30-year mortgage, they might make it a 31-year mortgage and you have those 12 months to repay that later. So one thing I wanted to clarify, today is April 28th. I'm filming this on the 28th, and there was just an article published today on the Housing Wire, and even though it's not directly from Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, it is quoting them directly in the article, and they came out with a statement saying that no, you will not need to do a balloon payment or a lump sum payment at the end of your mortgage like many people had been thinking, or like many lenders had been telling some of their borrowers. So they did clarify this, and they are saying that you will not have to do that, but it's still uncertain in terms of what kind of plan you'll be able to draw out in the future. You'd have to wait for that grace period to complete and then go over some sort of payment plan with your mortgage lender. The other thing I wanted to mention is that if you're going through this right now, please leave us a comment. Tell us your story. Tell us what you're going through. If you don't want to make it public, you can send me an email. It's also listed there below. And just tell me, talk to me. I would love to hear from you. And if there's anything I can help you with, reach out. So there are advantages to filing for forbearance. For those of you who literally don't have a choice, as I mentioned before, if you're behind on payments, absolutely file for forbearance because it'll be so much better than going into foreclosure or losing your property. So if you don't have a choice, just make sure you do your due diligence, do your homework, speak to your lender, get all the facts, and take advantage of this great deal that we have now. The other thing is that there's no fees, there's no penalties. So that's great. And lastly, they're not going to be reporting it to the credit bureau, which sounds like a great thing, but we're going to get to that in the disadvantages later. But yeah, so advantages are definitely great if you're behind on payments and you have no choice. There are no fees and there are no penalties. Now, the disadvantages, some of it I mentioned before. When I mentioned the payment plan, not knowing how you're gonna have to owe that money after the grace period is a big disadvantage. The second disadvantage is that you're still gonna owe the money anyway. So if you're just looking for some fast cash, then it just doesn't make any sense. And the third one, which is the big reason why I wanted everyone to stay till the very end and why it would make no sense if you just want fast cash, is that this will affect your credit score. And they're not making this clear to people. And it is very important that you know that your credit will be affected. It said it perfectly clear in the email that I got back from my mortgage lender in the fine print, where it read that this would not be reported to the credit bureau, but this may affect your credit. So the way I'm taking this is they might not be notifying the credit bureau that you did not pay, but they won't be notifying that you did pay either. So your credit will definitely be affected by this. So what got you that property in the first place, that great credit worthiness, will be out the window, and you'll probably have to take 5 to 7 years to build that back up. So if you wanted to buy that Beamer, if you wanted to get that apartment or that new property, you definitely won't be getting it with a tarnished credit. So now that you know all the facts, you might need to ask yourself, how important is the value of my credit? For many of you, you know credit is very important. And by lowering your credit, it could hurt you in a lot of things in the near future. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope this video was helpful to you. And if you have any questions, don't forget, reach out to me. I'm always available. Don't forget to click subscribe, that like button, and the bell so you can get notified every time I make a new video. Bye.